Last week, I was reading a story that was quite intriguing. Join me in this episode as I share on 3 steps to dig out the gold in you. Hi, thanks for joining me. My name is Olabode. In the mid-20th century, in Bangkok, Thailand, the government wanted to build a large highway through a village, but in the path of this highway was a monastery, a Buddhist monastery with a chapel attached to it. But then there also was this 11-foot clay statue that was attached to it that had to be relocated. After the workers had moved the statue to its new location, they set about the task of lowering it into place. As they began to lower it, the clay began to crumble. And as it crumbled, the workers stared in amazement at what they saw. Guess what? Beneath the clay was pure gold. Nobody knew there was gold beneath that statue. For years, everyone thought it was just a clay statue. And so they watched in amazement. And this statue, years after, was valued at millions of dollars. Initially, before it was moved, it was only $50,000, but now, because of the value had increased, because of it was now pure gold, it was valued at millions of dollars. Just like that statue, you and I are equipped with gold. When God created you and I, the Word of God says He made you a masterpiece. He equipped you with gifts. He equips you with talent. He equipped you with abilities. He put so much potential on the inside of you. But that potential might never come to light until you begin to put 3 steps in place. What are they? It's the same way gold has to go through a process. Nobody buys gold in its raw form, because in its raw form, gold is like not really valuable. But when it goes through that process of refining, after it, process after process, it goes through that process. And as it does, the value goes higher and higher until it comes to its purest form, whereby everybody is coming to pay. Everybody wants to buy that gold. The same way, you and I have to practice 3 steps. The first is you and I have to discover all that God has created us to be. You have to say, what has God made me to be? Who is the best person God has made me to be? What has He placed on the inside of me? I know in previous episodes, I actually shared on an episode called Discover Yourself. I'm going to put a link in this video so you can watch it if you haven't watched it. It kind of tells you questions that you need to ask to find out who has God really made you to be. The second step is developing yourself. To discover the gold, to dig out that gold that God has put on the inside of you, you have to discover that gold. You have to develop that gold. You have to take your gold through a process of refining. I also have another video which says be intentional about developing yourself. I'm going to put a link in here. You can watch that video as well. It will give you tips on how to develop yourself to become that gold, all that God has created you to be. And the third step is deploy yourself. So now you've discovered the gold in you. Now you begin to develop yourself. How do you bring yourself to that place of deployment? Third step is you have to deploy yourself. How do you brand yourself? How do you put yourself on the market whereby so much value is placed on you? What are the things that you can do? There are questions that we can begin to ask ourselves and say, how can I deploy myself effectively to become the best me that God has created me to be? The first thing that you can do even to deploy yourself is, after the development, you can begin to create a brand for yourself. How do you want people to see you? What do you want people to see in you? You begin to create that brand. Let people see you and know what you stand for. What people want to see, okay, this is what you say you are. They want to see you in that light. The second thing you can do to deploy yourself is you can think, how can I be of service to people? How can I package myself? What services can I offer to people? What products do I have to offer to people? I will also be sharing more on deploying yourself in next week's video, so stay tuned to that. If this episode has blessed you in one way or the other, Please let me know in the comments below. I'm passionate about helping people discover who God has called them to be. I want to see them using their gifts and helping them fulfill their purpose. For speaking engagements and coaching, or if you need any clarity, please contact me on my website www.olabode.ca/contact us. I will be so excited to connect with you. God bless you.